Welcome everybody to the Weighing episode, to the Weighing In podcast. Look, I
What
can't
an
do a
intro.
redo. I can't do a redo like Angelo likes to do 50 takes just to get his intro going. But I gotta admit, your intros are some of the best in the game, man. I love it. You actually plan them out in your mind before you say them. Me, I always just say, "Hey, Weighing In intro, love it." I let my knowledge do the talking.
My knowledge, you fumbled over your words in the first 8 seconds of this video. Your knowledge.
My knowledge of the sport, obviously. I mean,
okay.
listening to you, I actually watched a little bit of your vlog.
Oh, yeah?
On We Want Picks, yeah, and just the things that were coming out of your mouth.
Like what?
Disgusting.
My vlog or my recap show?
No, it was your vlog.
Yeah. What came out of my mouth in the vlog? It was just living life. Cook the food.
You must have been drinking.
Oh, I was drinking. But what came out of my mouth in the vlog? Nothing
After
crazy.
the Sean Brady fight, you were just said some really despicable things.
It was just, what are you doing, dude?
Absolutely disgusting. You don't even know what to say.
I thought we'll talk about it.
Okay. Look, I look to get right into this. Honestly, look, UFC 322, did it live up to the hype that you thought it was going to live up to? And it had moments, at least I thought it did. The card was stacked from beginning to end. I mean, the prelim fights were good. The main card was started off really good. But like you said, something that was very important when we were off air. Dominance. It was dominance, whatever you want to say. That's what it was all night.
This is going to sound crazy, and I promise you, I'm not purposely trying to be a contrarian. I get that on paper, a bunch of finishes. I get that's great. And I get there's a couple finishes that were great. But I spent $80. I don't illegally stream these things. I spent $80, and I left that event being like, was that worth $80? Because we get a Beneil Dariush knockout, 14 seconds. That's not a fight. That wasn't a fight. We didn't see a fight. That was 14 seconds. That didn't count. The next fight, we got a boring first round and a knockout in the second. That was the closest thing to a real fight on that entire card. Then we get the Sean Brady fight. He got dotted up. It mattered for the division, but it was, again, 3 minutes. Between the first couple fights, I spent $80 for 12 minutes. And then the last two fights were the exact opposite. I had an hour of nothing. Pure domination. It matters. It was very important, but it wasn't entertaining. And that's what this is. I literally left that. I was probably more excited for UFC 322 than anybody. I was like, the biggest card of the year. I was pumped. And I left that being like, I'm looking forward to pay-per-views being gone because I spent $80 before tax.
I honestly believe that was a big takeaway from last night. You could have the most stacked card. You just never know what's going to happen. I go all the way back to the very beginning of the UFC when they first started trying to do a 3 title fight card, and it ended up being a total flop. And they tried it again a couple of years later, and it was a flop again. And then finally, I think on their third try, they actually had a pretty good card. It's just very difficult. You never know what you're going to get when it comes to the fights. You never know what you're going to get. And so I thought, look, let's just start off with the main event. It obviously wasn't what you expected, or maybe it was what you expected.
So it was I definitely thought Islam was going to win. It was certainly wider than I thought. I didn't think he was going to dominate, but obviously he did. I wouldn't say that fight sucked. So I wouldn't say it was not entertaining in like the traditional sense. It was exactly like the Khamzat Chimaev DDP fight. You didn't watch that and you're like, this is great, but you watched it and you're like, you feel like you're witnessing history. Like, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't believe how crazy this is right now. So it's not quite what I expected. I did expect him to win, but just the sheer domination opens the door for a million conversations and stuff like that. So it was nice to watch.
Yeah, look, obviously my comment section blew up with just nothing but haters. This is boring. I said, look, you guys, even if Islam wasn't my guy, even if he wasn't my boy, even if it wasn't someone that I was like truly cheering for, I would feel the same way. This guy's coming up 15 pounds, and to do what he did to the current champion is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
Because you had the flip of the coin, right? In the co-main event, it was the complete opposite. You had someone who was at that weight class that dominated the smaller fighter. So I felt like everyone was like, oh, Islam just doing what he normally does. Yeah, doing it to a guy who's 15 pounds heavier, not really 15 pounds heavier, but has been used to fighting 15 pounds heavier and is the current champion.
Yeah, he made I don't want to say he made history because he's not the first person to win 2 belts, but we watched something very important happen. So I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
What do you mean by that?
Because now he is in the conversation of the greatest fighter that's ever lived.
Okay.
And a couple of random wins and he could push Jon Jones out.
Really?
I mean, what more does he need to do? He dominated and cleaned out an entire division, moved up. He needs to win a couple more, right? He needs to win a couple. But after last night, who the hell at welterweight's going to beat him? Who? Nobody. It's just like 85. Who the hell is going to beat Khamzat? So it's like he literally could win as many fights as he wants and then retire, and then we could have this conversation.
Yeah, because Sean Brady's going to drop. You have Shavkat in there. Leon's going to drop. Kamaru Usman's there. You have Ian Gary, and you've got Michael Morales. And you've got Pratis that's there too. Look, all of them are very dangerous. All of them.
Correct, but he did strike more than he normally does, but there's no danger when he's just diving at legs immediately.
When the takedowns come so easy, I don't blame him.
I know. I'm not insulting him.
Yeah.
That wasn't this fight sucks. I'm like, literally, where's the danger if you're just instantly taking people down? There's not like a 170-pound BJJ Savage. And even if there is, they're not going to catch him.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, I take away from what he was talking about. I go, hey, he's calling out Kamaru Usman, which is crazy because they're both managed by Ali. And I was thinking to myself, like, they've been around.
Ali gets paid 2 times. That's why.
Yeah, you could say that, but also too, it causes a little bit of a rift somewhat in the mix because Islam also wanted to fight Justin Gaethje, who's also managed by Ali. There was this back and forth battle, and like, do we want to have them fight? You as a manager, you don't want your guys to fight each other, because it does cause a little bit of a rift. But I think in this situation, like, you have Kamaru Usman, who's been very clear. I want to just get one more shot and crack at the title. If I can win it, I'll try to win it. I also like what Islam has said. He's basically, people consider him to be the GOAT at that weight class at 170. I want to fight that guy. We know that for me, it's GSP, and nothing against Kamaru Usman. I think I would put GSP and then I put Kamaru Usman. So it's not like I have him very far behind. Yeah. Literally, it's like, I just look at how long that GSP did it. He had his one loss to Matt Serra, and that's it. I put GSP there. That's it. But I like what Islam is saying. I want to fight the guy who people consider to be the best to ever do it at that weight class, and I want to do him first.
I don't think Kamaru Usman has any business in a title fight. He's 1-3 in his last 4.
Yeah, but he's got a win over Buckley recently. It was very dominant. It was a very dominant fight.
But look at so Michael Morales just had a dominant fight. Next weekend, Ian Gary may have a dominant fight. Pratis just had a dominant fight. I get he's a former world champion, and I get we're running out of time. Like, if he doesn't do it now, when the hell is he going to do it?
Yeah.
He has less than no chance against Islam.
Oh, wow.
What's he going to do? We watched how easily Khamzat out-wrestled him.
A guy.
Khamzat tossed his ass around.
In the first round. And then
he got tired. Is Islam going to get tired?
Kamaru Usman took him down.
He didn't take him down.
I believe he did. I believe he did. I think he took him down in the 3rd round.
I think there were. I don't think. I'm not.
Maybe you can pull that up while I'm
here. UFC stats. I don't think Usman's or Khamzat's ever been taken down.
Really?
I could be wrong.
I believe he lost a takedown to Usman. I could be wrong, but I believe so. But man, look, regardless of the situation, I think Kamaru Usman is the guy that would be the toughest guy for Islam, I think, in that weight class. I had Sean Brady being that guy as well because of the grappling and the ability to grapple. But I mean, we saw with Sean struggled to get close the distance and get in on the legs. It didn't even seem like he was making the effort to get in on the legs. He stood too much. Anyways, we'll get into that fight later. Let's just talk strictly about Islam and JDM. What was your takeaway from the fight? Let's break the fight down, and then we'll match these 2 guys up on who's next and what's next for them.
Yeah, I mean, so Islam was out striking him and out wrestling him. Like, he literally beat him everywhere. There was one single exchange. It might have been the 3rd round, I forget, where Islam was like in a clinch situation and JDM just like lit up the body, went to the uppercuts, threw a nice combination. Islam was completely unaffected. That guy didn't give it. He didn't react. He didn't care. He didn't even let go of the exchange. He didn't desperately shoot. He didn't care at all. Like, it was crazy. His lack of like, there's a combination coming my way. So it was just such a dominant fight in every single aspect of MMA. That's a huge step back for JDM. Like, he'll never be world champion again.
Oh, wow.
How's he going to close that gap?
Those are strong words.
He can't close that gap. That was just, he had zero success. Zero.
Yeah. I mean, I think what like Islam said it in the post-fight interviews, like, look, we understood he's got 1, maybe 2 escapes, and he goes to that well on those escapes every single time where he kind of comes all the way through on the half guard and then kind of like sits back over you and kind of rolls you to your back and causes a scramble. That's how he gets to his feet. They just drilled on defending that. You know, I was those 2 days I was there in Jersey with them. I just saw them kind of just slowly going through the motions, and it was just kind of like just repetition, small little things. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Very nice. I do want to get into what you said, though, about the clinch work and the JDM, lighten him up on that body work a little bit and come over the top. That tie plum, I hate that tie plum for Islam, only because he's so talented. He's so good. I hate when he tries to do that because it is just common habit for a fighter's chin to come up in the air as they try to pull the head down. They try to get their body up and over them. And when they do that, their chin goes up and over the head. And that's when those overhand rights come. And it just absolutely drives me crazy. I know you'd hate to see someone get caught in an exchange like that and trying to control the head. And he got hit with some good shots and it didn't affect him at all. I honestly believe at 170 pounds, he's actually where he should be in terms of his weight class. He looked fantastic. He wasn't breathing hard. His cardio looked great. He looked so relaxed, so composed. And now I know it's easy to say that because you're dominating the fight. But when people are so afraid of your takedowns and you can do it from anywhere in the clinch, in the single leg to the double leg, that first takedown came so fluidly, snatched a single, sat up, gave him a clothesline straight out of the WWE and sat him to his butt and then right to the half guard position. He looked absolutely fantastic. I really don't think there's anywhere else you can go with Islam. It's either going to be Ilia Topuria for the money fight, or, I mean, I think it's going to be Kamaru Usman. I really believe it's going to be Kamaru Usman because of the fact that they would like to give Kamaru his due. He just beat Buckley. That's one. Two is Islam's chasing the legacy. He wants to fight the guy that has the best record or whatever is people consider to be the greatest of all time in the welterweight division. He wants that fight while he can still get it. Then he can fight the other guys. I personally think he's going to end up with the Ilia fight, though, to be honest.
Maybe I just have a recency bias. That was so dominant. I don't think Ilia beats him either. Like, I don't know who the hell beats him. Genuinely, I think Usman is literally, of all the Michael Morales, Carlos Prates, maybe Ian Gary, depending what happens next week. Usman is the worst of all of them, and not the worst skill wise, not the worst fighter, not just the worst in that his age, the style. He's a wrestler who's not the better wrestler. Like, how is he going to win that fight? So, and I get your point, like, oh, let me beat the longtime legend, all that. But when Jon Jones fought Stipe Miocic, did anybody care? You know what I mean? Was there any question at all? Like, that's the greatest heavyweight? No, like, he's 42 years old. Who cares?
That's different, though. You're fighting a 42-year-old guy who is 3 years off. There's a big
the 3 years off was
and you're supposed to be considered the greatest of all time, right? Literally handpicking the guy who's 42 years old who had 3 years off. Kamaru Usman just come off a fantastic win over Buckley, who I was questioning. I was like, Buckley's gonna be too fast. Buckley's good at movement. He got dominated. He got dominated by Kamaru Usman, and Kamaru Usman was able to wrestle and take him down. I mean, outside of Leon catching him in that body lock to the takedown, Kamaru Usman doesn't get taken down. He got taken down by Khamzat Chimaev, which we've seen is probably the best wrestler right now in the sport outside of Islam. Those two guys together.
Yeah, and he's notably bigger than I mean, if they do Usman next, I'm not going to complain. Like, there's the exciting part is he's a brand new champion. There's a lot of matchups to make, and I'm okay with any of them, right? I think he dominates all of them.
No,
if you don't do, I don't know who would give him problems. Like, not a wrestler, a 38-year-old wrestler in Usman who's not as good of a wrestler. Michael Morales is the only one we can debate, because we haven't seen him lose. Yeah. So we don't know. Like, we haven't seen it. That's the only debate we could have, because I've seen Usman get out wrestled. I've seen Carlos Prates get out wrestled. I've seen Ian Gary get taken down relatively. I have not seen Michael Morales get out wrestled.
Mm-hmm. The way that I see, if Islam and Usman were to wrestle or to fight, is that the flexibility from Kamaru Usman is just not there. And if you take a look at how, like I said, that Islam wrestles, it's a lot of tree topping with the single leg. The flexibility's got to be there. And I think at the age that Kamaru Usman is, make it very difficult. Now, he's also very good when you get on the singles, covering the head, smashing, getting the wizard, keeping the leg smashed down. He's good at defending that position really well. So if I'm going to put someone in that mix, I really honestly believe he's probably the toughest matchup because of his wrestling ability. And on the feet, Kamaru Usman's got straight combinations.
He's fast. He steps into his jab so he can be long. Yeah, I mean,
fantastic
jab. And you have a couple super chats here from Hakeem if you want to read them. Those are about Kamaru Usman as well.
You can go ahead and read them.
Well, they're yours. He said, Kamaru Usman will beat Islam easily. No way Islam can take Kamaru down. Kamaru knocks out Islam on the feet.
Ooh, Kamaru. Wait. Kamaru beats Islam is what you're saying.
Not me. This is what Hakeem the Dream is saying.
What Hakeem the Dream says. Look, I think he's the toughest fight for him. I actually thought it was going to be Sean Brady. I think he's got to work out some stuff.
Some stuff.
So you guys got to stop. You specifically have got to stop with all the negative energy. Look, it's okay to come in and have a bad night. He's had 2 bad nights, one to the former champion and Bilal Muhammad, and he had a bad night last night, man. It really, that's what it came down to. He got hit with some big shots and wasn't able to put it together. Look, Kamaru Usman is a very tough fight for him. The wrestling is all there, but I think that's probably the fight. They're either going to do Ilia Topuria.
As a fan, let's pause on Ilia. As a fan, would you rather see Islam versus Morales or Islam versus Usman? Islam versus Usman. As a fan,
I think Usman.
I don't know. And if you have a moderator in here that can throw up a vote in the chat, I would assume most people, unless they just hate me right now, I would assume most people would prefer to see Morales than Kamaru Usman.
Okay, so you say that, okay, until you end up with the same thing you got last night. And they're going to be like, oh, man, shit. You're not going to get that same type of fight with Kamaru Usman.
We had that fight with Kamaru Usman when he fought Hamzat. That was the fight.
And they stood a little bit until there were some takedowns involved. But those are 2 great wrestlers, right? Like, they're different style of wrestling. They're different fighters. Like, you have Hamzat and Kamaru Usman are straight, like, double leg, single leg style wrestlers. Islam poses a different threat on the way he gets his takedowns. I think it ends up being a tough fight. I'm going to Hakeem the Dream. I'm not going to agree with you because I honestly believe. What is that noise?
I don't hear a thing.
Oh, something's all weird. Microphone? Something.
I don't know what you did.
Oh, your microphone's off. So you're not coming through your microphone anymore. I'm like hearing all your background noise.
I got it. This is the software you use just keeps switching to my AirPods.
I love how you try to like blame it on my software. I love it.
Never happens on my streams.
I've never had a problem with my software. All right, look, Hakeem the Dream. I'm saying it's gonna be a tough fight. I don't think Kamaru gets it done. Just based on age and and right now where they're at, him coming up in weight, and you give him more time to actually train with that weight on more than 11 months, man, he's just going to start filling out a little bit more. He'll end up being a lot tougher of a fighter. Yeah. What do you got?
I think Hakeem the Dream. I think this is Kamaru Usman's burner account. He's managed by Ali. This might actually be Ali commenting, pretending, because it says the next super chat, $5, is Volk almost knocked out Islam. Kamaru might break Islam's face. Ali knows Kamaru will beat Islam. It's a bad matchup for Islam. That is Kamaru Usman's
there it is right there.
Burner account. That's his burner account for sure.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
Hey,
so.
Look who figured out how to
I'm figuring things out, guys. I'm figuring things out. It's gonna just take a little bit.
I told you could do it.
I know I could do it. I'm figuring things out. We're making some grounds over here, guys, on the live chats. We're doing enough of them now. I've just started dinking around with it and actually having to do some research. So it's been fantastic. Look, if I look at this, you're telling me after what I saw last night, I look at Ilia Topuria and I think to myself, it's not even close.
He's too small, dude.
Yeah.
He's small for 55, let alone a giant 70 Islam. He's too small.
MMA nerds, I actually like this. Topuria only based on the fact because it's a huge money fight. Kamaru Usman and Shavkat are the next two. To me, Shavkat is the one that's kind of the dark horse. I think that Islam is more of a technician than Shavkat, but the style of the way Shavkat fights, because he's so tall, long, lanky, he will pose some problems for Islam. Islam's used to being the taller, longer fighter or just physically being the bigger fighter. He handled it really well last night with JDM. But I think that's the matchup I think you got to make. You go Ilya for the money fight. If they can't get that done, then you go Kamaru or you go Shavkat. Shavkat's out for a while, so I don't really know where you're going to be with that.
That is the problem. If it's a fantasy world, I love the Shavkat matchup, but I think he's out for a year.
Yeah. That's what I was hearing. I was hearing that he's out until like the end of 2026. July.
He's going to be, you know who he's going to become? He's going to be Beneil Dariush. All this wild potential, a great win streak. He's going to have very poorly timed injuries in what should be the prime of his career. He'll come out the other end and just not be the same person. That's exactly what happened to Beneil Dariush.
Who brought negative Nancy here, man?
No, reality Ange, they call me. Angie Reality.
Okay, so what do you do with JDM then?
Man, it's tough because, as long as I made the statement earlier, he'll never be champ again. That is, he'll never be champ again if Islam is the champion, right? If Islam retires, if he moves up, then it's a wide open weight class. But the gap between the two of them is just so wide. Like he had no success in 25 minutes. JDM, I have two options written down. One, give him Sean Brady, right? Give him Sean Brady. It's almost a carbon copy of the Bilal Muhammad fight. Or if Ian Gary loses this weekend or next weekend, if Ian Gary loses, that could be a really fun matchup.
So I actually took the other way. I went with Michael Morales. The reason why I went with Michael Morales,
because you're using Usman in the main event, or you're using Usman for Islam?
I went with Michael Morales because Michael Morales, I want to see a little bit of his wrestling, but I think him and JDM will stand and trade. I think that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the explosive, hard-hitting Michael Morales against the guy who's known for taking shots. JDM can take a shot. He can grind it out. He can wrestle a little bit. He doesn't have to worry about really being taken down. Morales may try to wrestle here and there, but I doubt it. Will we see that national champion Ecuadorian wrestling come out? I doubt it, but I'd like to see the two of them. And plus, that puts him right in that position if he beats JDM to say, look, I'm next. There's no other conversation. There's either Ilya and Kamaru, and then there's me. And that puts him right there in that mix. And then look, with Ian Gary, he's 2 losses? Like, he's got a ways to go, man. You've got other guys. He
only has one UFC loss, and it was to Shavkat.
He lost to Shavkat. Who didn't he lose? He beat Protas, but it was in the 5th round.
He almost got finished in the 5th.
He got vandalized in that 5th round.
It was dicey. This is the cool part is this is the best the welterweight division has ever been.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we can debate between 5 different names and this is awesome. You want deep weight classes because there's a couple of super shallow weight classes right now, but this is a deep one. If you're talking Michael Morales, you can use the same names for him that you use for Brady, that you use for Protes, that you can use all these same people. So I think, JDM, I don't hate JDM versus Morales. I don't hate JDM versus Sean Brady. I don't hate JDM versus Protes.
Yeah.
You get fun striking. Let's see what happens with Ian Gary because he fights next week. There's a lot of really fun matchups. So it's almost, you have to be careful of the matchups, though, because you don't want to ruin somebody with 2 losses in a row. And you don't necessarily want to completely derail a hype train. And, so you have to be somewhat careful. But I wouldn't mind. JDM is a likable guy. His fight style is pretty exciting for the most part. He did go to a split decision with who the hell that guy was on short notice, and then again to Kevin Holland. So he might not be who we thought he was, and he might have just had an unbelievable performance against Bilal Muhammad. But let's find out. I don't hate the Morales matchup. I said Morales should go either get the title fight or Ian Gary if Ian Gary wins or Protes if Ian Gary leapfrogs and gets the title shot.
Got it. What happens if Bilal wins though? I think feel like we're overlooking Bilal.
I don't think you and do what? He's not going to fight Islam.
No, he's not going to fight Islam. But do you match him up then against someone like a Michael Morales, or do you match him up against JDM again and see if he can have?
I don't want to see him versus JDM again.
You said yes. What's that? What about Bilal and Protes?
I want to see. Here's the thing, matchmaker Ange. I want Protes to keep winning. This guy is exciting. Like, he's different. In a world of everybody trying to be Conor McGregor, you have Carlos Protes, who is just him. He's just himself. I'm going to drink. I'm going to smoke. I'm going to be me. So not that he should be coddled and kept away, but like, why give him this sort of, sandbag type wrestler? Like, let's keep him away from that. Give him Ian Gary is a striking match. Michael Morales should be a striking match. JDM is a striking match. Like, give him a striking match. Don't just throw him at a wrestler.
No, I would agree, man. I would definitely agree. Let me reduce these things here. I don't know why they keep doing this.
What?
I wish I could just completely turn them off.
Your prostate?
No. I'm going to go ahead and show this one up here. It says right here, it says Said Ibrahim. It said, is it Said Ibrahim? All these welterweights need to fight in February or March to decide the number one contender. 4th of July is a long way away, and no one is going to get a shot by sitting out. Agree 100%. I mean, Sean Brady will probably end up trying to fight again before then, so he could try to still make it onto the card, which I don't think he'll make it onto the White House card after that.
No,
but there are some really good fights. This to me right now, it has all the young fighters kind of making their run, and the older fighters are now finally starting to fall off a little bit. And it's an exciting time in the welterweight division. The bantamweight division to me is equally as good. It's just we've seen these guys make their run already. The Sean O'Malley is now
they've all lost.
Yeah, I know, but it's not that the hype is gone. It's just that we've seen them fight enough. Like, okay, look, we've seen them fight. There's no excitement to it anymore. Like we've seen Umar fight, we've seen Sean O'Malley fight, we've seen these guys fight. Like we've seen them fight enough. Like Michael Morales, you and I both going to sit here and agree and go, there's not a big enough sample size yet to say that he's ready for that title shot. I mean, he had a great performance, a very dominant performance last night, but I think he needs one more before he gets a title shot.
Probably, because I agree, because he also doesn't, like, that was a dominant win over like the number 2 guy. And we can't just ignore what Dana, and Dana goes back on his word all the time, but he said the winner of that fight gets the next title shot. He said it in plain English. So that is what is supposed to happen, at least according to Dana, but we all know things change constantly.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Valentina Shevchenko and Weili. How did you see the fight? Did you think it would go this way?
I thought it could go this way, but I thought Weili, if you go to Valentina, the fights with Alexa Grasso, the reason she wrestled in those fights is because she didn't like the speed and the movement of Alexa Grasso. So now I thought Weili, who has similar speed, similar movement, I thought Weili, who is a fast, accurate, who had great wrestling, we saw it against Tatiana Suarez, I thought she would be much more successful on the feet. She just got big sistered. She just got thrown around, tossed to the ground. Just like she also had like 0 moments of success. There was like 2 or 3 times where Joe Rogan went like, over nothing. She had no success in that fight whatsoever. And that one's disappointing because I think objectively speaking, just raw entertainment, and you can't go by us, or you got about 600 people watching right now. You can't go by us because the people watching on a Sunday night right now, us talking about this, we're not normal, right? We care about the sport enough to contribute content, to absorb content, to participate in conversations on freaking Sunday nights. If you take a non-fight fan, like half my friends are just like, yeah, fights are on. I'll watch some fights, right? That's what last night was. If you take one of them and you say, here's a fight, these are 2 of the best women fighters on planet Earth, and they sat there and they watched it, they were not entertained. Straight up, they were not entertained. And if they stuck around for the main event, they were also not entertained. We witnessed greatness. For us, it was spectacular what Islam did. For us, it was spectacular what Valentina Shevchenko did, but it wasn't fun. If this was CBS's first card, the first big card for free, and you got an hour of just lay on top wrestling, people would be pretty disappointed. So I was not entertained by the fight, just like raw entertainment, but I was very impressed with Shevchenko. I mean, you do leave that being like, damn, Shevchenko's good. And the last thing I'll say, and then I'll catch a breath because I'm out of breath. 2 things. It was just a reminder why there's weight classes. Literally, it's a reminder why there's weight classes, because Valentina just big sistered, bullied Weili. But everybody's forgetting Valentina went up in weight to fight Amanda Nunes and didn't win that fight twice. She lost that fight twice. She was too small. And now the smaller champ goes up. She's too small. Maybe it matters more in women's divisions than men, but just literally just too small. And it was a problem.
Why is that not the same though for like Islam went up 15 pounds, not just 10? and dominated.
Because you know how these Dagestanis are with their tricky weight cutting techniques and
Stop
their
painting a
probably
broad
illegal
brush.
IV bags and whatever else they're doing.
Stop painting a broad brush, buddy. That's illegal IV. Like, you know, they test for that. You can test for IV.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, of
Hey,
course.
come on. You do that shit on purpose. You do it just to poke fun, like just.
Well, that I did to give you a hard time. The difference is literally, Joe Rogan was saying it last night. The difference is body size percentage. 115 to 125 is almost 10%. 170 or 155 to 170 is, I don't know, what am I, Rain Man? 6%? 4? I don't know.
No, I also think there's a lot that has to do with females MMA is still behind men's MMA. It's not even close. Like they started what 10 years later than them. They're still trying to catch up in terms of their techniques. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of them are very extremely talented, but they're still behind. They're past the Frank Shamrock era of MMA, but they're just getting into that GSP era where they're getting good at stand-up and wrestling and grappling and mixing it all together. We saw it also to the Tracy Cortez and Aaron Blanchfield fight. One can wrestle a little bit and is better on the feet, and the other one is strictly jiu-jitsu. We still haven't got to the GSP era where they're very good all the way around. You only had 1 or 2 or 3 of them that are that level across the all-female divisions. So I think that's kind of where we're at. That's what the big difference was last night. Weili can strike, she can wrestle, but the physical size then becomes a problem. And she just wasn't able to do it against someone who's equally as good, if not better, all the way around. And that's what happened.
Yeah, all else being equal, the decider should be size, right? If all else is equal, we're both great at this, we're both great at this, we're both great at this, then size is the tiebreaker. Islam, size wasn't that much of a factor because he was giant for lightweight, looked pretty big for welterweight, but they're not equal. It was not all else being equal. He turned out to be the better striker and the better wrestler. And then maybe size is or is not, it's, doesn't matter. It's a non-factor because he was better at those other 2 things. Where in the women, that wasn't quite the case.
See, this is where I differ. I know that I said, look, Islam goes up 15 pounds, has a dominant performance over the current champion. Weili goes up 10 pounds and gets just ragdolled around. I put more negative energy into the fact that Valentina, I've always loved her. I thought she's a fantastic fighter. I had her as like basically the best female. Big John and I used to say this all the time. She's the best female fighter on the planet right now. When Amanda had retired, I go, there's
as long as Amanda's gone. Yeah,
as long as Amanda was gone, sure. I go to myself, I go, she's the best. But now what I saw last night, she's just basically
a weight bully. Don't say that.
Not a weight bully. Yes, I did say that last
night. She was winning the striking exchanges too.
Yeah, and she just was bigger all the way around. But not just that.
That's not her fault. Somebody came up in weight.
I get it. I understand that. But what it came down to was that there was not one attempt for an armbar, not one attempt for a side choke, not one attempt for a submission, not one.
You have these criticisms about your boy?
See, but he was chasing the Darce. He was chasing the Darce.
He waited till there was 30 seconds left in every round.
If you actually pay attention, see, this is the difference. But blue belt, maybe you are a blue belt. Maybe you are a blue belt.
Sure.
Look, it's very, very. Think about this, Angelo. You've grappled with guys that are very defensive. How hard is it to tap someone that just?
I agree. I'm not criticizing. You're criticizing. I'm defending the fighters.
I'm criticizing the fact that Weili had plenty of opportunities. Or not Weili, but Valentina had plenty of opportunities to submit Weili because Weili left her arms out everywhere. Technically, she just was not anywhere near as good as Valentina, as well as just the size was obviously a big factor. But she never even tried to hit a side choke. She barely tried to go to mount. There was moments I'm like, man, mount would be a good position for you because you can just hold her down, smash her face, elbows. It was very little body. There was no even a body head. With Islam, there was the chase of the submissions, and I knew I was going to get this look from you. And
let's read off some striking stats. You tell me which fight it's from. Hold on 1 second here. Let's figure out, is this from the ladies or is this from Islam? Hold on. Let's. Here we go.
Weili threw how many strikes and like running like literally here we go. Valentina in the last round just stood in the middle and waited for Weili to come to her because she's like, look, I don't have to do anything. I'm winning the fight. There was never a sense of urgency to try to get this fighter out of there. That's what the frustrating part is to me, is that you can't be somebody that is that good fighting the person who's coming up in weight and not try to get them out of there.
You know what's funny? I thought I was about to dunk on you real quick.
Yeah.
Here are the total significant strike numbers. Here's the total significant. Jack Della Maddalena in 25 minutes landed 18 significant strikes. Islam landed 30. In 25 minutes, that's one significant strike a minute. Valentina Shevchenko landed 41. Weili landed 32. That's how little striking was actually happening in this fight, in both of those fights.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Neither one of them, both of them had a lot of control from the top position. Only one was chasing submissions. The other one was body head.
This is the homer. This is the homer in you. This is the homer in you.
This is not the homer. I'm telling you, man. If you take a look, he was chasing the guillotines. He was chasing the Darces. He was chasing the Kimura. Bottom line is
he did extend the arm at the last 30 seconds of every single round. He did attempt a submission. What's funny though, and he got screwed because they didn't give him credit. They were not recording it as submission attempts, which is like,
oh wow, really?
Yeah, they were talking about that on the broadcast too. And then I follow fantasy, obviously, so I was watching. But he was attempting, but he was waiting till the end of the round. He's no Mark Coleman, right? He's not like rah, rah. Like he's very much. Let me get my position. I need to stay safe, number one. And then if I'm safe, then I will do something, which I get. That's how you have a nice long career. So I'm not criticizing either one of them for not doing damage on the ground. And if you're going to criticize the women, you got to criticize the men.
Yeah. So here, no, I am going to criticize, but he was chasing submissions, whereas Valentina wasn't chasing submissions, and she still did 0 damage to the smaller fighter. You guys are criticizing Islam for not doing damage to the guy that he's coming up in weight to fight. You guys are crazy, man.
He's the pound for pound #1 fighter on the planet. We're not you can't just pick and choose when we're doing size versus skill.
All right, who do you have for Valentina and who do you have for Weili? If you're going to match them up, who is next for them?
Weili needs to go back down because it's the same thing I said about Shevchenko, where if you can't be the champion, or sorry, about JDM, as long as Islam has the belt, JDM is not going to win that belt again. It's an unfortunate reality of that matchup. As long as Shevchenko is the champ, that gap was way too wide for Weili to close, just way too wide. So either Shevchenko has to leave that weight class or Weili has to go down. Yeah. And she's got the championship mentality. She was a long reigning champion. She was the best her division's ever had. Just go back down. And I think she left too soon, because there were matchups we have never seen. We've never seen her versus Mackenzie Dern. We have not seen her versus Verna Jandiroba. There are matchups at that weight class we haven't seen before. So I think she needs to go down. We haven't seen her versus Alexa Grasso. Alexa can go back down too. Like, I think Weili needs to go back down. You agree? Like, it's pretty straight.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, she goes right back down to fight for the title. She'll fight Mackenzie Dern. You got to go right back to a title shot. You can't I know she's vacated the title, she's not hold it up, but she's going to go back down. She'll fight for the title.
And this isn't the first time we've seen this. Izzy went up and get a title up a weight class. Long reigning middleweight champion, went up, lost, came back down, continued to reign as middleweight champion. It happens.
I would agree. What do you do with Valentina Shevchenko?
She called out about 7 people. She mentioned Kayla Harrison. Kayla actually called out Valentina a little while ago, but she mentioned Kayla. Terrible matchup. She should not do that. She'll get tossed around. This big sister thing's not going to work with Kayla friggin' 1990s gym teacher Harrison. That's not going to happen. So don't even try to move her around. Then she also mentioned Aaron Blanchfield and Natalia Silva. I think it's got to be Natalia Silva. Aaron Blanchfield just lost 2 fights ago. So let's go Natalia Silva. And Aaron Blanchfield was losing. She lost the first round of the Tracy Cortez fight on every judge's scorecard. Yeah. So let's get her another win, build her up. I think you have to go undefeated Natalia Silva, or almost undefeated.
Look, I went 2 ways. I went Natalia Silva first. I was like, well, let's just get that fight. Let's go ahead and get this fight out of the way. That one, but I also would like to see a rematch in the Julianna Pena fight if Julianna was to come down. Because they fought before, and I believe that Shevchenko armbarred her or beat her or caught her in some sort of submission, I believe, or something along those lines. But I mean, I think at the 125-pound weight class, I'd like to see Julianna Pena get there. Like, she's a dog. She makes it fun. And at 37 years old right now, Valentina's not taking any chances or any risks. So it's a good time to snap her up and try to get a win over her.
Yeah, and listen, Julianna's highly unlikable. She does it to herself, but that I watch a Julianna Pena interview and you go, this girl's spitting facts right now.
No, I just think it's so ridiculous that it's fun. Like, I love that she brings a little bit of that energy to the female division. Outside of that, we get a bunch of, oh, I like her. She's so nice. I don't give a shit. I want to see you guys punch each other in the face. Let's not get away from what we're here to watch. I want to see you guys destroy each other. That's what I want to see.
I agree. And that's exactly where I was going. She's so unlikable. It's the Howard Stern effect. You're going to watch me if you hate me. You're going to watch me if you love me. You're just going to watch, right? And I agree. If you can't stand her, you're going to hope Valentina smacks the crap out of her. If you love her, you're going to hope she wins. Either way, she will sell the fight. She'll say some crazy stuff. She'll move things forward, and we'll have a fight that people like, all right, they care about, and they'll fight and argue about what will happen or after it happened, how it went down. So yeah, I don't hate the Julianna Pena, but what has she done to earn a title fight though? That's the problem. It's a hard case to make.
I agree. I would agree with you. I just like to see that fight, but I think I honestly would go right to the Natalia Silva fight.
And the Kayla Harrison thing seems crazy to me. Like, where did that come from? Like,
destroyed.
Kayla's just too damn. You can't at the back end of your career turn into a weight bully and then go fight the biggest, strongest woman you could find. That's just like, that's the opposite of what you should be looking to do.
The fight that I would really like to see, to be honest, I know it can't be made right now, would be Dakota Cheva and Valentina Shevchenko. That's the fight I think that if we were able to finally get a cross promotion or a trade done where you could get Dakota over here, I would like to see Dakota come over and fight Valentina.
There's not enough money, right? Didn't she reject the trade?
I don't know if she rejected it, but I know she signed a new deal with PFL, for a lot of money. She's I think she's the highest paid fighter in the PFL right now.
Attractive, she can fight, and as long as she's beating up people over there, who cares? Like, what does she care? You know what I mean? She's still young.
Yep, exactly. She's got plenty of time to come over to the UFC when she wants. You got Michael Morales and Sean Brady. Give me your breakdown of the fight. It wasn't a long fight, but it was very intense, very fast, very focused. I took away one thing. Michael Morales has a very weird style of his stand-up. He hunches over forward, keeps that lead leg kind of his hips kind of back, very like wrestling type centric, kind of like very good at probably like the head blocking with the head, very good with the wrestling takedowns. Sean Brady just had no answer for the range and the distance of Michael Morales. And the last thing I'm going to say is Michael Morales is the biggest motherfucker I've ever seen inside that cage. He made Brady look like
I was
a
shocked.
Kid.
And Sean's a shorter, thicker dude, but I was watching. I was like, damn, dude, holy crap, he's big. He didn't look that big previously, and Sean, the build probably exacerbated, but it's just like, Jesus, this dude's huge. Yeah. Holy crap.
I thought, when the camera, when the fighter kind of circles closer to the camera.
Yeah, maybe it's perception.
And as they kept circling around and around, I was like, dude, this dude's just enormous. And I gotta be honest with everyone that's paying attention right now or following this, is like, legitimately, I thought Sean Brady was gonna win this fight.
So did I.
I was like, man, Sean's gonna punch his way to the clinch, get to the double, gonna lift, scoop, take this guy down. He's physically strong. He's gonna control the top position. I don't think Michael Morales has the grappling to get himself out of this position, and I think he's gonna get strangled. That's how I thought this fight would go. I didn't think that Michael Morales was gonna get out of round one. I thought he would maybe, but he'd be a little bit more tired and gassed going into round two, and he'd probably just give it to him somewhere around that. Not the case. Never got to round two. It was just straight domination. Great job of Michael Morales, man.
Yeah, to me, this was probably the Cortez fight was also went a little bit longer. To me, this was one of the better fights on the card, because while it was dominant, it was on the main card, it was a surprising level of domination, meaning obviously a lot of people were on the Michael Morales side, but a lot of people were not. And the guy was a 2-1 underdog, and there was a lot of narrative going into it. The fight mattered. I like that fight a lot more than some of the others because it wasn't completely one-sided. I did watch that wildly frustrated with Sean Brady, but my frustration with Sean Brady was more, why didn't you even try to shoot it? He waited till he was buzzed to do some fake takedown. Why didn't you even fake it? Like, go in there and fake one. Just set the tone that you don't know what I'm going to do. He didn't. He just kind of tried to out-clean technique a much faster, much more like Sean Brady's not an athlete. He's a gritty guy that can wrestle. Michael Morales is an athlete. Like, the dude, the way he was moving, he was so fluid, he was fast, he was long. That guy was just flowing. I mean, it was the worst pick I had on that entire card.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it was just like,
Yeah, I had Sean. I thought Sean for sure was going to get the takedown. I thought he was just going to, like, I wouldn't say man-child him, but I thought he would just control and dominate the wrestling, the grappling position against the fence, everything. And it just didn't happen, man. And my heart goes out to Sean because, man, Sean's a great guy. I've had on the pod several times. And I just wanted him to bounce back. Look, the last time he lost, he bounced back pretty damn good. So he rattled off a bunch of wins. So I'm looking forward to seeing him bounce back. What do you do with Michael Morales and what do you do with Sean Brady?
Man, Michael Morales, he's undefeated, and I love that because it can be anything, right? An undefeated fighter could be the greatest that's ever done it. We don't know. Or, could just be headed towards an 11-fight losing skid. You don't know. So I love the unknown of an undefeated fighter, especially somebody who looked that good, did what he just did. I think you either give him the belt, a title shot, or if he's not getting a title shot because maybe Ian Gary leapfrog or they give it to Kamaru Usman, give him Carlos Prates. Let those two go at it. And I know I said earlier I'd like to see Carlos to continue to win, but it's a striker versus striker kind of matchup. I would love to see it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to go back to what I said. I want Morales versus JDM. That gives both guys are going to stand. They're probably going to mainly box and they're going to exchange punches. We're gonna get some good action out of that fight for sure. With Sean Brady, I would either go with Buckley or Bonfim. So one of those two fights, I would say.
Oh, it's funny. I used Buckley elsewhere. I said you can give him JDM, or you do the Belal rematch if Belal loses.
This is true. Yeah, that's true as well. If Belal does lose, you can give him that. I didn't even think about that. I wanted to wait until Belal had his fight. I don't want to curse any bad juju. I like Belal. I love what he does. I think, and he just came out with a bad game plan, starting off that fight with JDM. I don't think we saw what Belal can do. We've seen what Belal could do before, but in that fight, he just didn't fight. He didn't fight well. And JDM had the answer for everything. But Ian Gary and Belal, they still have to have their fight. I got Brady with Buckley and Bonfim, either one of those guys. Brady coming off the loss, Buckley coming off the loss, could build one of them, get a win. And then you with Bonfim coming off the win. Kind of stylistic, I think it makes for a fun fight.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. I mean, I think that's what I was saying before. That's what's so awesome about the welterweight division right now. There's a lot of matchups, even the losers, not like losers, like, give me your lunch money. Losers, like they've been losing their fights. Even they are names and have recent wins, and there's narratives we can create. This is what you want a weight class to be, just loaded with options for the winners and the losers. So I'm loving what's happening in welterweight right now.
Absolutely. And then you have the lightweight matchup that was between my man Benoit. Is that what you say?
There we go. Yeah, silent D.
That drives you absolutely insane. Benoit Saint Denis. He looked absolutely fantastic against Beneil Dariush. Did you see this fight going this way?
I knew it could have. I mean, I knew it could have because we've seen Dariush get knocked out like that. I mean, not in 4 seconds, but it happened with Arman Saruki and it happened with Charles Oliveira. Like we've seen him knocked out. So I thought Benoit was going to win the fight. I didn't necessarily think he was going to one punch knock him out. I thought he would just, grind on him and wear him down and beat him up, especially when Beneil missed weight. This is the second time he's missed weight. That's not even the first time. Especially because he missed weight. It's like, all right, he's not as prepared as he should be. This guy's been, I kind of alluded to it earlier where how many fights did he have in a row where it was like 8 in a row or 12 fights in a row? It was something crazy where he just wasn't losing, looked unbelievable, but he was plagued with injuries and it was his peak. Like that is when he probably could have been a world champion and he was gone too long, came back and just, like things went. And once that happened, he seemed to stop caring. Like he seemed different.
Because life happens like during that time, right? Like you're not able to train as much as you possibly can. You get yourself distracted with some other things. Look, I went through a long phase like that. I was out for like 18 months, and it was very frustrating just realizing that you lost 18 months of your prime. I think I was 29 or 30. I lost literally 18 months of my prime. It's just so frustrating. You come back, you got to get refocused, re-energized, and just realize the game in 18 months had changed so much, especially back then because it was evolving so fast. With him, I feel like life just caught up with him, like, married, kids, whatever it is, right? It starts getting involved. He's like, shit, I don't have the energy to train as much as I do without leaving my family. And sometimes that's why I waited till after I was done fighting and well on my way to being retired before I started trying to have kids. So
I'm surprised those things are even swimming at your age. That's crazy.
Man, swimming studs is what it was. Both of my kids are animals. Benoit Saint Denis. How do you match him up? Who do you have for him next? And what do you do with Dariush?
I mean, it was a 16-second fight. So it's like, this is why I said it before, and a couple of people were like, how could he be complaining about a quick knockout? If you paid $80 and let's say every fight on the card was a 16-second knockout, it's kind of disappointing. It's called the Mike Tyson effect. That's what happened when Mike Tyson was fighting. He was knocking people out cold instantly, and pay-per-view numbers were way down because people were like, who cares? Obviously, it's Benoit, and it's just one knockout. But when I saw it happen, like you go through the roller coaster of emotions. It happened, and you were like, oh my God, that's crazy. Oh, this is nuts. And then you're like, I'm 10 minutes into this event and we're already done with the first fight. So there's like a little like, I would have liked to see. I wanted to see. I love Beneil Dariush. I think Beneil Dariush has the best scramble skills in the history of the UFC, let alone this division. And I wanted to see a couple of those exchanges. We didn't get there. So definitely, especially, you like the fighter, and it was just so damn early. But I don't know what you do with BST. I said Joel Alvarez. He was supposed to fight Joel Alvarez. That fight fell apart. They're both on win streaks right now. Joel's striking has looked unbelievable. On the ground, he's a savage. I think Joel Alvarez versus Benoit Saint Denis is probably a fun fight. Although he did move weight classes. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think he moved weight class. He's up to 170 now. He's not coming back down to 55. I also think that with Saint Denis, I think you got to do him a solid, man. I think you give him, my personal opinion, I love Dan Hooker. I just don't think he beats Arman Sarukian. I think he gets wrestled. I think he gets control. I think in that position. I'm not counting him out. I'm just simply saying if I was going to match up somebody against Saint Denis, it would be Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
So
I don't hate that.
If Dan loses that fight, I want to see Dan Hooker in Saint Denis. That's a damn good fight.
Especially, Dan Hooker's a dying breed of like savage.
I know.
And Benoit Saint Denis got savage in him.
Yep.
We've seen that guy almost die. Like, he's got savage in him. He won't quit. If he gets knocked out, he gets knocked out, but he's not going to choose to quit. So I don't hate that. Assuming Dan loses, I don't hate that matchup.
If Dan wins, I mean, shit. I mean, like, you can match him up. I would say, like, you have like a Rafael Vassiv. You've got maybe
him versus Vassiv could be really fun.
Yeah, I mean, you give him that fight. Did he fight Charles Oliveira? Saint Denis?
No.
I mean, that might be a fight too. Charles getting a little chinny, get a little bit older. But if you have this guy who they're trying to push, I can see that potentially that fight coming around.
I mean, but his last 3 wins are Kyle Prepelik, Mauricio Ruffy, and an old Beneil. Like, I think Charles, especially given what he just did to Gamrot, I think they're still using him for top 5 kind of guys. And Benoit's not there just yet.
I get it, but I still would like to see the fight.
It could be fun. Benoit's got an animal in him. So him versus any of those, even Gagey will never accept that. He's at a point where he only wants huge fights, but all those fights could be fun. Dustin took the fight, and it was a banger. That was an awesome fight.
What about a Michael Chandler?
It would be very fun to watch. Michael Chandler, he's too big of a name to use on this. Use Michael Chandler to build somebody.
Got it.
And I think Benoit would just build his own. He doesn't need a springboard from Michael Chandler.
Got it. Okay.
Plus, I still want to see Chandler versus McGregor.
Are you still holding out for that?
It'll never. Conor McGregor's never fighting again. But
stand by that.
Yes, I'm rooting for it.
You stand by Conor McGregor's not fighting again.
I do. He's never going to fight again, which sucks because I wish he would. Here, you got $20 super chat.
Oh, you're pretty quick with these things.
I do this all the time.
You're pretty quick. You like to. There we go. Read it to me, buddy. What does it got?
Zeke662 says, Angelo and Josh, after you're done talking about the card, which one was your favorite fight and why? Mine was Wellmaker versus Ewing. Ewing was fighting like he has. Your thing's cutting it off here. He was fighting like he's been under the lights before. He took the moment and ran. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the most impressive. Did my headphones do with that stupid thing again?
I think so. Made that
it shows that my microphone's still on, so we should be good. It was one of the most impressive debuts because he was completely unfazed. He moved forward, he let his hands go. He threw Wellmaker through the air. He took the fight on 2 days' notice, was a fighting a minus 500 favorite. You gotta love. Circumstance wise, you gotta love it. It was also a fun, exciting fight. But I think probably the most exciting fight. Hold on, I'm looking at them all. The most exciting fight for me, maybe Rodriguez and Kopylov. Actually, Bo Nickal got after it.
It was the Bo Nickal.
Yeah, he got after it.
Only because, look, coming off the loss like you did against RDR and just not performing, like just didn't perform. Like jumped Gilly, like what are we doing? Like you're not Dustin Poirier. Like what are you doing, right? So the fact that he came back the way he came back, highlight reel head kick knockout. I know that Adolfo Vieira is not like a world-class stand-up guy, but he's a phenomenal grappler. But just the wrestling's not there to take Bo Nickal down. But there was never really even an attempt to really take Bo Nickal down.
He shot that one double. He ran a double against the cage, and Bo was like, "No, I'm good. Nice try."
Yeah. You're not sniffing a takedown against me.
Yeah.
For me, it was the Bo Nickal fight because of what he did and how he did it, and the way he stamped his name on it at the very end. That's very impressive. People don't give enough credit to the ones coming off the losses. It's so hard. You wouldn't believe the things that go through our minds when you're coming off a loss. Oh, I can't afford to drop 2. If I lose 2, I could potentially get cut. You start thinking about maybe Bo's not thinking about it because he's so liked, I guess, amongst the wrestling.
He's a big name. Yeah, he's a big name.
So, but a lot of fighters go through, if I lose 2, I could get cut. If I can't even think about it, if I lose 3, like it's a big deal. And that to me was a fight. I would also go with the one you said, Ewing. That was just fantastic. Did you throw any money down on that fight at all?
No, I didn't touch it.
$5, $10.
No, I didn't touch it because I didn't think he was going to win, and I wasn't going to spend minus 500 on Wellmaker, who, while he's knocked a couple of people out, one of them was a human punching bag. Like, we didn't know how good Wellmaker was or was not. I think we all can agree his original opponent was going to beat the shit out of him. If he lost to Ewing like that, I mean, Cody Haddon was going to run through him.
It's hard, though. It really is hard to make those adjustments and fight someone you've never seen probably fight. You've got a highlight reel from his last fight, which happened last weekend, but like, you don't know how good that guy is that he fought. You don't know how good that guy is that he starched and finished. Like, it's hard. It's hard to really try to get yourself prepared to fight somebody. You can't tell how fast they are. Do they have good wrestling? You can't tell. And so I'm not going to hold it against Wellmaker. It's a very tough fight to step in and be like, look, I'll still fight. But my concern with Wellmaker is very much how Michael Morales a little bit is they both live off their athleticism. They both have power, and they both have a tendency to let the fights kind of develop in front of them. Like, it's okay. I'll fight at my pace. And that's what you saw with Wellmaker is like, I'm going to get this round back. I'm going to get this one. By then, the fight's over, and you lost.
He made no adjustments either. Like, when he got launched through the air, there were no adjustments made after that. It's not like he was like, all right, I need to start doing this. I'm going to throw 11 jabs. I'm going to attempt my own take. He made 0 adjustments whatsoever. Just kept trying to find the big counter, kept just moving forward blindly. And the fight kept going that way. I was surprised that it was a unanimous decision. Every fight on this card was a unanimous decision. I felt like it was a little closer than that, but apparently not.
What do you do with Beneil Dariush? I had a lot of people in the comments last night. I also see a couple people like, oh, you got to cut him. No, you're not cutting Beneil Dariush. Okay.
He just won.
What?
He just won his last fight. He won, not last night.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're not cutting him because he's probably still in the rankings, by the way. That's one. And then 2 is there's a lot of really good fights. I would love to see him fight. Him losing to these top guys, not a big deal. He's just not going to be champion. We know that. But let's go ahead and suck the last little bit of entertainment out of him as we possibly can. We're still watching Jim Miller fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
he's not getting slept like that though. But
no, he's not. But they're also not matching him up against the top 10 guys. That's what the difference is.
Yeah,
they're not getting matched up against top 15, top 10 guys. They're fighting guys that are trying to make their way up, and that's a sink or swim for those younger guys. That's what Jim Miller's doing. I'm not saying that Dariush is there at that level right now, but I'm saying that that's the options that we still have for Beneil Dariush. There's a lot of really good fights still left in Beneil, and that I would like to see. His ability to scramble. Yeah. I would match him up with Grant Dawson. People cannot stand Grant Dawson. People want Grant Dawson just takes people down, holds them down, plays the carpet game. Just basically the heavy rug. Beneil Dariush is fantastic at scrambling. And on the feet, Benil's the better striker. So I think if you put those two together, I say you give him Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson gets a loss, and then we can move on.
I mean, that's possible. Or the UFC might punish him because he missed weight. So he might be the new Tony Ferguson. They're like, guess what, pal? Anybody who has any power whatsoever, that's who you're fighting from now on. You're going to get knocked out 3 more times, and that's the end of your career.
Yeah, I understand. Huh. And then what do you do? Like any other fights on here you would match? I want to match up Bo Nickal. Who would you match?
We entirely skipped Cortez and Leon Edwards.
Oh, we did? Oh, geez.
You did.
Oh, we did. I absolutely did. I didn't write that one down. What do you do with Leon Edwards?
It's funny. I don't have Leon.
Let's talk about the fight first. Practice and Leon Edwards. Talk about the fight.
It was awesome. That was the best fight on the main card because it was a tale of 2 fights. Now the first round was kind of boring, and it was very Leon Edwards coded. Mm-hmm. This guy spent weeks talking about, I'm finally fighting a non-wrestler. I'm finally fighting a striker. It's only 3 rounds. I can finally do what I want to do. Turns out what he wanted to do was be a wrestler. The dude just immediately like, oh shit, I'm diving at legs. Let me see what I can do. And now he has been forever memed because when he was climbing Protez's back and just landing those punches to the side of the face, and Protez just made like a, I don't care about this whatsoever face. I mean, he's been forever meme. So wildly disappointing that Leon Edwards got a matchup, not an easy matchup, not even a favorable matchup, but at least got a matchup for the first time in years where somebody wasn't diving at his legs, and he did nothing with that. He decided to go the other way and did his own leg diving. And then he paid the price in the second round because once Carlos Protez defended a couple takedowns, stood up and was like, oh, I'm fine. Then he just let his hands go. And this is, they rattled it off last night. Is this the 3rd or 4th person that's never been knocked out that Carlos Protez knocked out? It's crazy what he's doing. It's crazy.
That's the only part, the downfall of doing a live. I can't have the audio on. And so, like I'm not able to hear the commentary. I'm gonna have to feed this thing into my headset somehow.
That's exactly what you have to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to feed it in so I can start hearing what they say. Cause I have to actually go to the comment section and be like, hey, can you guys give me some info?
What are they saying? Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me what they're saying. What are the scorecards? And I hate having to do that. So look, with Leon Edwards, I mean, there's plenty of guys for him to fight. I mean, where do you put him on this thing? You know, you could throw him all the way down with the Mike Malott. I think, you know, if you put him with like a D-Rod, which from what I heard D-Rod's stuck in Mexico. Someone said that he got arrested in Mexico or something. He's stuck out there. Like, what the hell? Seriously? Come on, man. D-Rod was just enjoying.
He's a big weed guy. That D-Rod,
man, wild stuff. What do you do with Leon Edwards? I mean, there's guys that you can have a matchup against. Do you match him with someone who's a little bit older, or do you match him with a young guy coming up?
He's done. You got to match him with young people. He's done. Like he's 3 losses in a row. He lost to Bilal Muhammad. He lost to Sean Brady. Now he just lost to Carlos Protez. Carlos Protez is the lowest ranked person he's lost to in a row. It's going the wrong direction. Bilal was the champ or became the champ. Then he lost to a contender. Then he lost to a non-top 10 ranked guy. Like it's going the wrong direction. He's lost to grapplers. He just lost to a striker. He was just knocked out. I think we got to go down the list. We have to go down the list.
Mike Malott.
I mean,
is Mike ready for him?
I'm looking down the list here. I mean, honestly, this might be too far down the list. You can do a random Kevin Holland fight. That dude will fight anybody and makes it randomly interesting. You could do Gabriel Bonfim. They're trying to build him up. He just knocked out Randy Brown. It's got to be in that. We're out of the top 10. You're out of the top. Like, you got to be done in the top 10. So you got to use in the
Bonfim's 10.
Fine. We'll let you cling on to the top 10. We'll let you one last attempt to stay in the top 10. Bonfim.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, look, I like that fight. Give him a chance, an opportunity. You're on the come up. Obviously, Leon would like to get a win. If he can beat the top 10 guy, he lingers around in that top 10, figures things out. I mean, and then what do you do with Protez?
Protez is the fun one. Now, I said earlier, I'm not trying to protect him, but he is a one of one. He is his own person. He is a one of one. That's why he is so likable, because he's original. He's himself. He doesn't care what you think, and he's knocking people out. So he's exciting to watch. He's got a very different personality. I am going to avoid every one of those nasty wrestlers. I'm going to avoid them all. I don't think that helps. That benefits none of us. As a fight fan, as somebody who just wants to see exciting fights, I don't want to see his career take a nosedive because here's a wrestler, here's a wrestler, here's a wrestler. So I've got Protez versus Buckley. who can be a wrestler. He can be a wrestler, but I like Protez versus Buckley. Or if Ian Gary loses, you could kind of pitch that rematch. Probably not, but Buckley is the person. Buckley's the person I like most for him right now.
You know, look, I know a lot of people are going to give me a hard time about this. I'm just not an Ian Gary fan. I like what he does on his social media. I love how he keeps himself relevant. He's just boring. He's a boring fighter to me. I have such a hard time watching him fight, man. It's horrible to me, just only based on the fact that he was on his bike the whole time, all the time, and I just can't do it, man. I can't do it. And then, he comes out and he keeps talking, propping himself up. Cool, great. Keep propping yourself up, but the bottom line is that he sticks and moves, and it's just not there. I don't have it, man. I don't have it for him. It's not going to be there, I don't think, ever. So I don't know. Tough. It's a very tough decision for me. But he's not the guy for me, Ian Gary. With Protez, I could see him possibly. I mean, you mix him in there with I agree with you. I don't want to see him fight Kamaru Usman. I don't want to see him fight Bilal Muhammad, or any of those guys. I mean, it's just
maybe Sean Brady, because we just saw how chinny he can be. He could probably knock out Sean Brady, but let's have fun with the fun fighters while we can. Because eventually you can't, right? Eventually there will be some really tough matchups, and let's have fun with him while he can. Let's give him another striker.
Yeah, I can see that. You can go Sean Brady. You can go with what about when? I mean, he's gonna want to fight. I like the Buckley fight the most, to be honest.
Yeah, I like the Buckley fight too. He's coming off a loss, but after a nice little run there, he's a logical choice. So I picked it. So, but I do like that matchup.
My man Zeke 662, man. I want to thank you too for also re-ing up and on your membership. I want to let everyone remember that. I want you guys to remember this. We do giveaways, and for Thanksgiving, I'll be doing 3, possibly I think even 4 giveaways for next week before Thanksgiving. I'll be definitely sending you guys boxes. I'll pick out 4 members in our membership count, and I'm going to pick out 4 people there, and I'm going to send you guys off a box of LMNT for Thanksgiving. I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to support the podcast. The one last thing I want to talk about, is there anybody else on this card you want to talk about?
Dude, we got a bunch, man. Where are you going? It's 9:00. Where are you going?
Okay, I was going to ask you, what else you want to talk?
I have Bo Nickal listed. Okay. Gregory Rodriguez.
Okay.
Aaron Blanchfield.
We normally only do the main cards, and so
I know this was on paper.
Okay.
The best pay-per-view of the year.
Okay, on paper. Just didn't live up to it. You've been complaining.
Not that it didn't live up.
You've been complaining all night about it, and so I was just like, okay, maybe he just doesn't want to talk about it anymore. Maybe he wants to.
I'm not complaining all night. It was this. I know what this sounds like. Yeah. It was too dominant. Don't we all want a drag him out war? Isn't that what we love about fighting? A back and forth war? Like, I'm totally fine with Islam's level of domination because he achieved something. He moved up in weight. There were questions, and he answered every question. The Valentina, just sheer domination. For the first round, it was like, wow. And then I was like, okay, all right, let's come on. Let's speed this up. Obviously, the Protez fight was really fun with that knockout, but we had a 16-second knockout. It was a little too dominant. So there were a couple of...
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm 40, not 12. We're not 670 here. If we go down the card, the undercard was great. If we go, we talked a little bit about Bo Nickal, but matchup-wise, well, 2 things. One, I thought the way Bo Nickal leveled up was insane. Like, that was the best version of Bo Nickal we have ever seen. The striking was great. He used the wrestling when he needed to use the wrestling. Like, he did everything, and then he put a bow on it with a head kick. And a head kick is not just a close your eyes looping overhand right. Like, it was a perfectly well-timed head kick. So I thought the way Bo Nickal leveled up was outstanding, and I've got a matchup for him. But first,
no, I thought
you didn't go that far.
No, I thought he was absolutely fantastic, and I did match up Bo Nickal. I thought everything, like I said earlier, everything that we want to see out of someone coming off a loss, especially a young, talented guy like this with this much ability, is what I saw last night. He came back, didn't let anything bother him. He got the dominant highlight reel knockout. That's what the UFC is looking for. They want that highlight reel, and literally got up on the cage and gave everyone the bird. If he wants to be the hill, he wants to be the hill. He'll play a really good hill because he's so nice and so likable. But the casual fan doesn't know that.
Who, Bo?
Yeah, Bo Nickal. He's a very likable guy.
outside of his persona, sure. The persona is just like, dude, relax. I'll beat Hamzat. I'll do this. I'll do that. Let's relax. People hate him, and that's fine. You love him, you hate him, you'll watch. So for him, I said give him Kelvin Gastelum or the Iron Turtle.
I had the Iron Turtle, and I also had one other one. I didn't have Kelvin Gastelum. I had the Iron Turtle, or I had Shara Bullet.
Shara could be fun. I think he just takes down Shara because if he,
I'm not overly impressed with Shara Bullet. I think the hype around it all has kind of gone away. The pirate thing and the one eye, and I get it. You're extremely talented. You're good on the feet. I'm just not there. There's fun fights for him, but I'm not sold on him ever being champion.
Yeah, no, he definitely won't be. He's not who they said he was, but he's still. I think too easy of a path, if you will. That'll be just 15 minutes of laying and pray. The other fight, Gregory Rodriguez and Roman Kopylov.
Gregory Rodriguez right here. Let me take a look at these rankings here. You give me who you got, and then I'll go ahead and piggyback off of you. Because I didn't go down this far because we normally just do the main card. But go ahead.
No, and the only reason I did is because I was prepared for the show. Gregory Rodriguez, his wrestling was atrocious in this fight. I thought he was going to wrestle. He was 0 for 4 in takedown attempts. And at one point, he's just laying on his back with his, like, come on, come play in my guard. He got taken down twice. Roman Kopylov got 2 takedowns. Gregory Rodriguez was 0 for 4 in takedown attempts, but he still won the fight with he just tried hard. He just moved forward and threw a whole bunch of punches. I like Gregory Rodriguez a lot. I'd like to see Gregory Rodriguez, now that I know his takedowns are like not great, him versus MVP.
Ooh. I like that fight. You're talking about Gregory Rodriguez and MVP?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a good fight.
I know.
MVP getting a little bit older. Potentially the chin can be gone, and that's a good fight. I would have also said MVP and Kopylov, though, to be honest, because it would have just been a stand-up fight.
It could be, but Kopylov was just like gun shy and tentative. And if you have an already, like, MVP is not, he picks his shots. He's a low volume guy.
So fast.
They might literally just stand at each other or stare at each other and do nothing.
Yeah, that's true. You can end up with a really boring fight. Very much how, like, the fight that I always wanted to see was Stephen Thompson and MVP. And MVP goes, you don't want to see that fight.
Yeah. He's like it'll suck. Yeah.
It'll be the boringest fight you guys ever seen. And Stephen Thompson was very clear about it as well. He's like, nah, it'd just be like a big an overrated point fighting competition, on a big stage that no one's gonna really want to see.
Yep.
And that crushed my dreams. It destroyed me. It really did. I like that fight. I like that Gregory Rodriguez. And I also like Gregory Rodriguez and somebody that can hit hard. Why not a Joe Pyfer? I mean, we're down. You're bound to get a slobber knocker.
You could, you could go with Pyfer there. I don't hate that.
And then what are we doing with Marvin Vettori? Marvin Vettori's always around.
He fights in UFC 323.
There you go. So maybe we have Vettori versus Gregory Rodriguez. That's a fight to have. What do you do with Kopylov from here?
I didn't get a matchup for him because to me it's like, who cares? Meaning, not like I like Kopylov. He should not be cut, but there's a million random 185 pounders you could throw him in against and see what you get.
Why not him and Shara Bullet?
That's for 2 high-level strikers.
Yeah. Neither one of them have a whole lot of power. Kopylov has a really fast high head kick, and Shara Bullet's got a really good calf kick / like side kick, wild kind of with his striking. Should be a fun fight. Could be boring.
It could be.
Fuck also, to be honest, like we just talked about, it could be a real boring fight.
It could be because Shara does tend to take his time, but I mean, it's 2 strikers, and neither one of them have that weirdo karate style. So yeah.
What other fights on here did you want to match?
The last one I even talked about, had written down, was Aaron Blanchfield and Tracy Cortez. That was a very fun fight because I was a little surprised at the outcome. Not that Aaron won, because I thought she would win, but that she won by submission, and that she won by submission after losing the first round. She lost the first round on all 3 judges' scorecards. Her wrestling wasn't very good. Tracy Cortez had the cleaner, better striking. It was... that fight was heading down one very specific path, and just the intangibles of Aaron Blanchfield got this fight to the ground. And once they hit the ground, I expected Tracy Cortez is supposed to be a high-level grappler, but once they hit the ground, it wasn't even close. The levels were crazy.
Obviously, you weren't able to hear the audio when they were fighting.
I actually did not listen to the audio.
Yeah, that's why. Because what happened is I was listening to audio because it was a prelim because I wasn't going live yet. and I could actually hear her corner saying, okay, look, we've got through the first round. Let's start wrestling now. They literally in the first round was kind of like almost like fill her out, let her start to slow down a little bit. And now we're going to start pushing on her and grinding on her a little bit more. I think they expected Tracy Cortez to get comfortable on the feet, and then the takedowns would come a little bit easier. And once she got her to the ground, it was over. It was quick. It was done.
Yeah, I mean, she did have 2 takedowns. I'm checking the stats here. She attempted takedowns in the first round, didn't she?
Tracy attempted the takedown, I believe, in the first round.
Yeah, she attempted one random one. You're right. Aaron didn't really attempt, and then in the second round she did. I was just surprised. I was surprised that once it hit the ground, first of all, we needed 15 more seconds and we would have gotten a third round. And I had the over, got kind of burned there, is what it is. But I was surprised that the gap on the ground was that wide, because it's almost like what we talked about in the main event. If you're trying not to get submitted, just it's a little easier to not get submitted than it is to make something happen offensively. And I figured if she
I lost your mic. Completely gone.
My ape knuckles hit the mute button. I mean, these are just giant man hands. What are you gonna do? I was saying what was I saying? I don't know what the hell I was saying. Something about Tracy Cortez. And I was surprised that once it hit the ground, she wasn't just full survival mode. Just survive, get through it, and now we have a third round to go to. Instead, she really wasn't. She was kind of looking to improve position and was moving a little too much, and that's what opened everything up. Where it's like, just stay super safe. You know how insanely dangerous Aaron Blanchfield is. Just stay safe.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you on that, but like, I don't know. I got to be honest. When I was watching the fight, they both look slow.
Aaron Blanchfield is not an athlete. She is just tough.
But even Tracy,
gritty.
Like, she looks slow. Their combinations looked like very robotic. And then I watched who was the younger girl, Klein, earlier in the night.
She got after it.
She does not look slow.
No,
overly aggressive. She is way better than I ever gave her credit for. I was thinking that Angela Hill was going to make it a tough fight. It wasn't even close.
I thought Angela Hill won the second round, but I agree. Like, that was the only case to be made for any success whatsoever, was that second round. Because she was, people don't make Angela Hill look bad.
No.
Fatima Klein made Angela Hill look useless out there, to the point where people were like, she should probably retire. Meanwhile, 2 fights ago, she's on a nice little win streak. She's only losing to top 5 women on planet Earth. And now it's like, she should retire. That's
MMA fans. You know that. You know that.
You're as good as you. I just did that to Sean Brady. So yeah, I do know that.
If you guys haven't watched Angela's vlog, it's insane the things that come out of his mouth after some of these fighters lose.
I was at a 40th birthday and we played Rage Cage. Are you familiar with the drinking game Rage Cage?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, I know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do those things. Come on.
Well, we played a game called Rage Cage, and I drank a ton in a very short amount of time, and then had to go home to watch the fights. And Sean Brady attempts 0 takedowns whatsoever. So my frustration was like, what the hell was that? Like, if you lose, you lose. Like, it's fine. Not everybody's going to win all the time, always. But do the thing that you're good at and try to win. Like, try to win. He didn't. He went out there. He landed one, I think it was a straight right. And then from that point on, he's like, I can strike with this guy. It's like, no, you can't.
No, it was very upsetting for me, man, because I'm a big Sean Brady fan. I love the guy. He's a fantastic dude. Before we get out of here, there's one thing I want to talk to you about. Did you see the melee that went on at the fights? Did you see the Dylan Danis situation? Did you see the I don't want to, Dana called it the Muslim Brotherhood, put it to him, put the boots to Dylan Danis, basically.
Dude, I saw the clips. I saw the clips of Dylan Danis with those ridiculous ass clown shoes.
What an idiot.
Flying in the air. Like, you have one, there's an angle where you just see his stupid legs, and the shoes are as big as mine, and he's a little guy, just like in the air, and they're like bright. It literally looked like if AI said, show a clown getting tossed around in the crowd.
If you're going to be a clown, you need to wear clown shoes, and that's exactly
what
he did.
Huge.
He knew he was a clown last night. Literally made himself available, sort of bouncing from seat to seat. That's what That's what Dana was saying.
Yeah.
The security was threatening to kick him out, and they're like, "Hey, does he have a seat?" And he's like, "Yeah, he has a seat." We'll tell him to get into his seat. And then he started kind of walking around. Then there's audio of him basically walking up to all the guys, all of Khabib's camp, and talking. I didn't hear him what he said, but it was like, "Oh yes," and was talking to just, "Oh yes, brother," and this and that. And then you could just tell it happened quick. It happened quick.
I don't know who threw the first punch because they're like nobody was recording until a punch was thrown, obviously. So I don't see the initial, and maybe there's a million clips out there.
No, they were recording before it all happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen several angles now, and I couldn't tell you who threw the first punch.
Yeah, it's hard to tell who's who.
Yeah, because there was people in front of him, but you could hear him say, like, basically talking about, "Oh yes, brother," and something else. And I mean, yeah, just
he's literally a professional troll. That is his career. Is like, let me just stay quote unquote relevant. People will talk about me. I don't care in what capacity, why, or how. I'm going to do as many ridiculous things as humanly possible. And then maybe I'll get another giant payday to box some random person on a celebrity boxing card.
It's funny. I just heard an audio clip of Gordon Ryan. He said, "Look, man, Dylan Danis back in the day, he was not to be messed with. Like the guy who had great grappling skills. He had this, he had that. Now he's just a fucking clown." That's the bad part about it all, right? When you have a kid that has that much talent, he hung around with Conor McGregor so long that he believes that he still is that guy. Conor's not even the guy that he was. Like, dude, you were never relevant. The most relevant you ever were was when Khabib jumped off the cage and landed on your fat head. That's how relevant that you were only relevant during that period of time, and you keep bringing yourself back into trying to be relevant again with your fucking fake teeth. The way you talk is just it's crazy insane to me that he still keeps trying.
His teeth are fake.
Have you not seen his teeth?
I'm not a big Dylan Danis follower.
Dylan Dallas.
The best thing he ever did though is before he fought not Jake Paul, the other Logan Paul, the trolling of Logan's fiance was just incredible work. That was
good for it though.
He is getting sued for it, but that was some of the best internet trolling I've ever seen ever. Like that was incredible work. I mean, that was incredible work.
I'll be surprised if he wins that or if he loses that because
free speech is a thing. You can
they're all influencers though. They're all in the public eye, and they're known for doing stupid shit like that all the time.
And he'll just pull up his boxing contract where it says you need to promote the fight. And he'll be like, "This is how I was promoting the fight." Like it's the dumbest lawsuit, and it makes Logan look like a pussy. Honestly, sorry to say that. We got to keep this video going. You're gonna get demonetized. It makes him look so. You're gonna sue the dude for what? Posting pictures of your fiance before she was your fiance? Not even naked. It wasn't like naked. It was just like a picture of her with this dude. Then a picture of her with some other dude. What do we do?
He had so many boyfriends.
I get it, but it's like, how are you getting that worked up that you're going to sue the guy? It's so dumb.
Yeah.
That was the best work Dylan Danis has ever done. Great, fantastic, just great, top notch.
Like, is Logan living in this world where he believes that his girl was never with anyone else before him? Like, let's be honest, bro.
And it wasn't even like provocative. It was just, it's just pictures. Because then he just created this top-notch troll job. Absolutely love it. That's the best work Dylan Danis has ever done, and now he's just causing fights in the crowd. So he's banned for life from UFC events. I don't think he cares. I don't think that's like a punishment to him, really, because he just used this to get in them. Now he's going to tweet 1 million times over. He'll get paid. He'll do his fake giveaways. You know how he does that? Like, oh, anybody who retweets this will get $1. Nobody's gotten $1 from him.
Have you tried to collect?
I don't engage.
I know you retweeted it like
never. It's not real. It's not real.
You should send him a thing, man. I'm surprised he hasn't been sued for that.
I mean, that is true. I mean,
you could be sued for that.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
That's wild to me, man.
Wait, the last thing too, earlier you mentioned corner work. You said that you were listening to the Aaron Blanchfield's corner say, okay, we got through the first round. Now you should start wrestling. You didn't have audio for the main event. Some of the worst corner work, and there's still 600 people hanging out, 615.
We keep them going.
Well, and so for this is my question to them because you didn't hear it. Did you guys hear JDM's corner? There was no advice. There was no do this, do that. Once they got to the third round, The advice was, are you ready? I'm not going to say the word. I'm not trying to get you demonetized. Punch that CUNT in the face. You need to punch that CUNT in the face. And obviously they're Australian, so that's a word they use. You know, it's in different context. But it's just like, this isn't advice. This is, oh no, I gotta punch him. Shit, dude. I've just been getting taken down. I didn't like what the hell are we doing? That is almost as bad as Tim Welch's corner work with Sean O'Malley in the Merab 1 fight, where he was like, we're almost done. We're almost one more round. We're almost done. You're almost out of here, buddy. It was literally that level of like, we've all given up. Can you just punch this dude in the face, please? It was bad.
There was some audio released. I don't know if it was real or not. I just basically said, like, wipe that look off your face.
Because he looked defeated. Yeah.
He just looked like he was like, oh, I can't, like, it's so frustrating to be losing and going into the 5th round, realizing that you
can't imagine
one round. You have to pull the trigger. And then he got taken down right off the bat. And I'm like, oh.
And you know what? Like, I understand the center. What they were trying to do is recreate that Leon Edwards moment where he had against Kamaru Usman. If that is legendary, similar sentiment, but that was legendary corner work. It was like, get out there. I forget the exact words, but like, it was intense, yelling in his face, you punch him. And he went out there, he landed the head kick, and he got it done. This wasn't that. Even the go hurt that see you next Tuesday was low energy. Like, it was all very low energy. And, you know, JDM was getting dominant. I'm not gonna like jump on JDM for, and then he didn't even go, you know, what's he gonna do? Think things were not going his way, and the odds of it landing a Hail Mary were crazy. It was just crazy corner work to me. And it felt like, and I don't want to dogpile, it felt like they weren't ready for the moment. They weren't ready to be coaching and cornering at that level. Obviously, they did it, right? He won the belt, but that was a different matchup because Bilal Muhammad poses almost no threats on the feet. So it's very much worry about the takedown. Islam came out there, kicked JDM's legs twice. Everybody seemed shocked. Like, people were like, holy shit, he's going to kick my legs. And they had no answer. There was no advice about what to do about those leg kicks. There was no advice, nothing.
Yeah, people like I see people even in the comments now with the 700 people or whatever watching, going basically, hey, like, oh, Josh is just gonna glaze Islam. Guys, I've trained with this guy for 15 years. Like,
so yes,
years. Yeah, I'm gonna glaze him a little bit, but I also know why he's so good. I remember when people called me all sorts of different names when I said he was gonna submit Charles Oliveira. And sure enough, he went out there. I said he would do it before round 3, and he did it in round 1, or was it beginning of round 2? Can't remember. Anyways, he got it done quickly. I also said what he does very well because of his southpaw stance is he hides his head kick very well, and it comes up very fast. And then he turned around and did it to Volk, and he did it, and he almost landed it again last night. He's very fast with his kicks, and they land hard when he does try to get after him, because sometimes he throws this little like lazy kick, almost as if like a bait for you to grab his leg. And that's what he used to do to me. If I throw a lazy kick, you'll snatch my single, and then from then on, I've got you. And you just knew that's what he was doing. And I caught on after a while. It took me about 2 years to figure it out. But that was his way. He does that all the time. Go ahead, grab my leg and see what happens. He's got hard kicks. He's got fast kicks, and he hides them really well behind his punches. He doesn't have a lot of power, but like I said, he's a technician. When it does land, it lands clean, and it hurts because he throws punches. He throws the 2s and the 3s. He normally follows up with a 3 shot, which is very effective. I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm glazing him but I have all this information on him that makes it sound like that. He's good. And I said this a long time ago, and I know that Khabib wouldn't be upset about this at all, to me, he was always the better fighter. It was that he just had more tools and more weapons. No one has ever stepped foot in that cage and been more dominant than Khabib Nurmagomedov. Nobody.
Yeah.
Not Jon Jones, not nobody. No one has ever dominated other fighters the way that Khabib has done it. Islam, though, he's had some rough goes. He's had some rough fights, but he's got the skill level that can do it all. You knew what Khabib was going to do, and you couldn't stop it. Islam, you don't know what he's going to do. You know he's going to wrestle a little bit, but he also can stand with you. He's got good hands. He's got good kicks. People underestimate his stand-up because he got knocked out 16 fights ago. Literally fucking 10 years ago.
A flash knockout, too.
Yeah. It was 10 years ago. Think about that. a decade ago is the last time he lost. It's insane. And people are like, oh, yeah, he still has no chin. No. That was at 55 when he got knocked out. That also, too, him, I'm sorry. I think at 70, his chin's going to be a lot better, even if that ever was a case. That's one thing. And I think he's really.
It seemed better. Like JDM, there was only one exchange in the third round where he landed clean a few times. It was that like they were in the clinch. I don't know if anything hit his chin, but Islam didn't care. Not even a little bit. But wait, you haven't addressed. Do you think Islam? So who's the greatest lightweight of all time? Is it Khabib? Is that like a unanimous?
No, it's Islam now.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's where I was going. Has he become the greatest lightweight of all time?
Yeah.
Or I fully understanding this fight is at welterweight and not lightweight, but doing this here almost makes what he did back there. It just adds on to it. It adds on to his legacy. Has he passed Jon Jones as the greatest fighter of all time?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No, he's close though. He's close, but he still has some work to do. Look, a lot of what Jon's problem was, he had so many layoffs in between. He had so much time that went on between where he could have fought. The fights were overturned because of drug testing or whatever.
He also had fights that should not have been. Where he didn't beat Gustafsson the first time. He didn't beat what the hell's his name? Who got knocked out? He didn't beat Reyes. Where Islam outside of the flash knockout, you could argue the Volk 1 fight was super close, but he's just beating people.
Yeah. I mean, they're very dominant in what they do. Look, I give Jon Jones a ton of credit inside the cage. As a human being, not a huge fan. Okay. But inside the cage, you can't take it away from him. He's done everything. He's made it look, I want to say he made it look easy. I also think towards the end, there's a couple different ways you can look at it. People have, a lot of high level people that I've talked to in the game have talked about, Jon didn't start struggling to have these fights until after USADA came along. That's one thing. Two is Jon also, as the fighters got better and he got a little bit older, they were a lot taller and longer and harder to deal with because he was used to being the taller, longer guy. I think he put his hand on his forehead like a big brother and keep you away. Jon has always been a fantastic fighter. I think Islam's got a little bit more to go. Look, if he beats Shavkat and then he turns around and he beats, say Morales, who are 2 undefeated fighters, I think he doesn't have to fight Pratis or Ian Gary. He just beat 2 of the guys, those 2 guys that are undefeated. He beat those 2 guys and you do it like in impressive fashion, or you dominate it the way you did with JDM. It'd be hard to say that he's not the greatest of all time.
People talk about that the only couple of fighters that could potentially be 3 division champs were Ilya and Alex Pereira, right? Alex Pereira could, in theory, go to heavyweight and knock somebody out. I think Islam could. Hamzat is a very, 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 very tough fight. It might come down to literally who shoots first.
Yeah,
Islam could potentially be a 3 division worship if he wanted to. Who's to say he wants to?
Yeah, he doesn't want to. I had this conversation. It was on the interview that I did with him on this channel. So if you guys want to go and check it out. Look, he has no desire. He's like at 185, sure. He's like, I thought about it for a little bit. And the fact is, he's like, I would be fat. I'd be like Daniel Cormier. I have to call him to be my nutritionist. 185. That's the reality of it. He feels really good at 170. And the conversation, he's like, man, I wish I would have done it earlier. It's like, should have done it sooner. He's like, this has been great. He can just kind of enjoy his camp and just focus on getting better. MMA Boxing Addict says what? He says, can Islam become the GOAT of the welterweight as well? Well, if he becomes the GOAT in MMA, I would say he'd probably be the GOAT of the welterweight division also. I think he's already the GOAT at lightweight. I've got 3 guys there. I've got BJ Penn there for a couple reasons. BJ fought everybody.
Wait, are you talking about welterweight?
No, I'm talking about lightweight. So
it's weird because his question very specifically.
Yeah, I know, but he's already the GOAT in MMA. He'll be the GOAT in the welterweight division. I know you are, you fucking guy. But I have him as the GOAT at lightweight already. I got probably Khabib or BJ somewhere in that mix there. BJ, just the way he did it, he fought at welterweight, he fought at lightweight. He literally got bored of beating guys and just decided he wanted to fight whoever. He fought the ultimate cheetah at 220 pounds, and he was walking around 190.
If this isn't the most Josh interaction of all time, hey, Josh, here's a $2 super chat. Can Islam be the welterweight world champion? Yes. Let me tell you about BJ Penn at 155 pounds. What are you doing? Answer this kid's question.
I did answer it. He would be. I think if he beats Shavkat and he beats Michael Morales, I think he'll end up probably being the.
So you think he needs like two top 5 wins? Obviously,
I think he needs 2 wins over both those undefeated fighters, and I think if you also throw Kamaru Usman in there, there's no doubt.
I agree with all of that because GSP is the welterweight GOAT, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had a questionable win with who's the cop now? Big Rig. Johnny Hendricks. Okay. He has a question about that. That was a dicey win. Now this was pre-USADA, and then that's why Johnny Hendricks is a cop now. But I do think I agree with you.
He's here in Texas, right? He's a casino or something, isn't he?
No, he's not this far north. I think he's closer to Houston.
Oh,
but yeah, he's a cop now. And I always liked Johnny Hendricks quite a bit.
But he's an Oklahoma State boy.
Yep.
Wrestled there. But then seeing those guys.
Literally, when USADA showed up, his body changed overnight and couldn't win again. So, just is what it is. Different era.
Definitely a different era. A different era. Overall, the card. What do you give it? 1 out of 10.
Quality of card, spectacular. 10 out of 10. I think it was the best card of the year. As far as matchups were concerned, I think most of the undercard delivered. I think the main card delivered on paper. I would have liked a couple fights to go a little longer. I would say still an 8 out of 10, 7.5, 8 out of 10. If I know it sounds ridiculous and people were giving me a hard time before, but a 16-second knockout is like a fight didn't happen. I was basically robbed of a fight.
Yeah, you had the Mike Tyson effect. You were really upset about that.
I was very for 30 seconds, like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then you're like, all right, well, that fight's over. And I'm like, already?
Yeah. Did you and I talk about this? Yaroslav Amosov signing with the UFC?
You sent me that text. I don't know who that is.
Okay. So he's the former Bellator champion, lost to Jason Jackson. He's got 1 loss. He's like 27-1, I believe is his record. He apparently got signed to the UFC. He's also another welterweight.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Very he's very talented on the feet. He's got great submissions, got that sambo style wrestling. Doesn't really come from a wrestling background, more of a striker, but is someone that he finds himself in positions to finish Darces and Anacondas. And I'm going to go strictly, I'm not going to sit here and glaze him. I'm going to strictly say exactly what Mike Brown and the guys from American Top Team have talked about.
I'm going to glaze through proxy.
I'm going to glaze through proxy. He's a fun fighter and a great addition to, I think, the welterweight division for the UFC right now. Because if you look at some of the guys, right, in the welterweight division, let's take a look at this. You add him into this mix, it just makes for some really fun fights, man. Him and like Joaquin, him and Michael Morales, I think would be a fun fight. You've got like Bonfim and him would be a fun fight. I think Sean Brady and him would be fantastic. The reason why I say that is because Yaroslav Amosov has a very different style of grappling. Like he hits his darce and his anacondas from sitting on his butt. Like anytime you're in on his legs, he finds ways to finish you from those positions. Extremely flexible, very hard to take down, very hard to hold down. Just a fun fighter to kind of all around watch. I think he'll be a great addition to that welterweight division. It'll definitely be some fun fights for us. Another.
You're not worried about another patchy mix?
Not really.
Like they're over there fighting a bunch of
he hasn't fought
whatever, and then they come over to UFC. They fight different level of competition. They just don't look human.
My concern with him, he's had 1 fight in 2 years. He has
it's patchy mix.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to fight. People won't fight him. The last fight he had was, I think, at the LFA. I think he fought Curtis Molander and he finished him in a minute. Took him down and tapped him with an anaconda or a darce or whatever, like a minute. It was over. So that to me, like he's a worthy fighter to be there. I'm not saying he's gonna make a run. That whole that shit coming out of my mouth is gone. Patchy mix,
and yeah, he just really ruined it for everybody.
Did it for me, man. I've got to be very cautious and careful, So, I mean, overall, I think he'd be a great addition to the welterweight division. You have no idea who the hell he is, so.
No, I am familiar with him, but not to the same. I will watch. I'm 99% UFC. I was a big Pride fan. I was a Strikeforce fan. I wasn't really familiar with your work, but I was a Strikeforce fan, huge Pride fan. And then once all of those other giant promotions got gobbled up, like, all right, starting to really like Bellator, but Bellator, I just didn't the model was weird of like, we're going to use regional guys to sell tickets, and then we'll use already established guys that, like, it was hard to resonate with, what Bellator was doing. We're in an era now where outside of the UFC is just very uninterested if it's competing with a UFC fight card.
Do you watch anything to do with the Jake Paul and Logan Paul situation?
I love the freak show fights. I love it, dude. I know it's not like cool to like those fights. The weirder, the better. Like it is on Netflix for a reason.
They're trying to finalize the Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul fight.
That's an awesome fight. That's better than the Gervonta Davis fight.
Absolutely.
Gervonta Davis can fit in my pocket.
But
now he's fighting a grown-ass man. Like, that's an awesome fight.
I mean, are you tuning in to watch Jake Paul lose?
Win or lose. He could lose that fight and it'll be fine. I've rooted for him in the past because
what do you mean I couldn't lose that fight and be fine? He's gonna fucking get destroyed.
No, but I mean, like, in the past, I was like, man, if he loses this fight, then if he loses to Nate Diaz, there goes this whole experimental era of these freak show fights. And I love the freak. Jacob gives me a hard time too. I love the freak show fights. He could get knocked out by Anthony Joshua, and we still can get another freak. We can get another freak show fight out of Jake Paul. I love it.
Look, I was going to get you out of here, but I also wanted to get a couple of your opinions because we're going to do this again tomorrow. We're going to film some more shows for our bad takes. Make sure you guys subscribe to our bad takes. We've gained over 1,000 subscribers in the last 4 days.
Yeah, your comment section seems to hate my guts, but there are people out here who enjoy me
like you
and my real, and also people. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday. Yesterday I had about 38 high noons.
It's 9:42, buddy.
Oh my God. That was an 8
o'clock. Yeah. look, for those of you guys that don't know who Angelo is, Angelo runs another YouTube channel called We Want Picks. They're absolutely fantastic. They help you with picking your bets, man. So if you guys want any information on picking your bets, go to wewantpicks.com/offer. Use the promo code ANDSTILL. They don't pick your bets for you. They give you the tools to pick your bets. So check that out. It is $10 to subscribe to them. You could become a member there. It's absolutely amazing. Gives you all the tools. They even have an AI that helps you kind of pick through your bets and stuff and give you the statistics and all those things. So check them out. We also do a show called Bad Takes where we give you the worst takes in probably in MMA. And but they're fun. We have a good time. We've got great banter back and forth. Look, Angelo and I have been friends for what? 2.5 years now?
Basically when you moved here.
Yeah, when I moved to Texas. So about 2.5 years, I met him at a car wash. He was stalking me, and all of a sudden he's knocking on my window. Hey, can we be friends?
The dude trying to reach something off the top shelf can't. I was like, you need a hand, bro? And I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Charles Shelton.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's 6'3", big tuma on the top of his head. He's got no hair growing there because it just, yeah. Anyways, we get it. We understand. Yeah, there it is. Look at that lazy bed doing us a solid, man. www.wewantpicks.com/offer #andstill, or just put andstill as the promo code. Josh was sucking the life out of Islam last night. Kyle Cup, my man, you gotta do your boys a solid. You gotta gas them up when they do something like this. You guys acting like this shit happens all the time. You gotta gas them up, man. You gotta let your boys know that you're supporting them. You can't. The problem with people like you, Kyle, okay, is that when you don't gas up your boys, and then when they do lose, like you're crickets. No one ever hears from you ever again. Like you're the guy that like wants to be there for the walk up and the weigh-ins and the walk out. And then if they lose, you don't see them at the dinner afterwards. That's bullshit, man. I'm the guy that rides or die, win or lose with my boys.
I'm always at dinner.
All of them. All right, Alejandro Gutierrez, thoughts on Islam versus Shavkat? Very tough fight. I don't know when we'll see Shavkat back, though. Islam might be retired by the time that dude comes back.
Yeah, and I also would, man, after last night, I don't know who beats Islam. Shavkat's good, but Ian Gary had success, like a good in the grappling.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like Islam, I don't know who beats Islam. I think he runs through everybody.
Kyle, you don't suck off your boys. No, you're not. But there's a difference between sucking them off and gas.
Don't back down, Kyle. Don't back down.
Don't back down, Kyle. I'm saying that to my.
You're good, Kyle. Don't back down.
I will say this: Ian Gary is somebody that he's a tough fight for everyone because of his movement, his speed. He's very tall for the weight class. He's a difficult fight. He's a difficult fight, I think, for Islam because Islam's going to have to close that distance, get in close enough to him. I don't think that Ian Gary's got the power to knock out Islam, especially at 170. But I think that, look, if he hits him with a 2 or 3 piece combination, it could definitely hurt him. Definitely put, get him in trouble. And also, too, Islam's going to have to get his hands on him. That's going to be very difficult. When you're fighting someone who fights scared the way that Ian Gary does in terms of on his feet, so afraid to be taken down. If it does hit the ground, I don't think it'll last long, but he is a dangerous fight for a lot of people because his movement is so good. He flows so well on the feet. He knows how to mix his combinations up very well. So I got to give Ian Gary his credit. And I'm not a fan because it's not the funnest fights to watch.
Yeah, he's very focused on winning. I need to win at all costs, meaning I'm not going to take chances. I just need to, I don't care if it's a little boring. I need to continue winning. People saying that the Shavkat fight wasn't even close. It was 1 round was the difference. It was 47-48 across the board. It was a 1 round difference. Ian had his own takedown and defended 8 takedowns. So Shavkat Rakhmonov had a 20% takedown accuracy against Ian Gary.
Yeah.
And a 50% takedown defense against Ian Gary. I think Islam runs through him, unfortunately.
I think the size of Shavkat, the height and the reach, those are the things that are going to give him problems. Like I said, he's been used to fighting guys his height or a little bit smaller. Islam has, and then you got to fight someone like Shavkat who's what 6'2". Then you got to fight Ian Gary who's what 6'1". Like they're tall, they're fast, they're rangy. It just poses a problem, man. Jon Jones, that body style has always been a good body style that helps you win fights in this sport. Jon Jones, Gustafsson, like Dominic Reyes, like these guys, the GSP was considered tall, long, and lanky. You know, when he was a welterweight, there's guys that just have had success at those weight classes or at all weight classes that are tall, long, and lanky. And I think it's the body style that does it for him. So
yeah, I mean, there's also more leg to snatch when you're shooting takedowns. So
yeah, I mean, Charles Oliveira
could go multiple
for the weight class, and he's had a lot of success, especially at 45. Man, gosh, unheard of. All right, guys. Hey, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to support us, man. It's been a great time. We did 1 hour and 40 minutes. Angelo, I can't get you to shut up sometimes.
It took me a little while to wake up.
It did.
Now I'm up.
I was wondering. I was trying to cut it off at like 1 hour 10, and this dude's like, no.
You skipped 3 fights.
I skipped 1 fight. We got one more super chat. Mo, is Miles is Mike? I'm assuming Michael Morales. The ultimate alpha twink? I think so. I don't know what that means. Is he the guy?
I'll explain what a twink is.
What is a twink?
It's
I'm serious. I have no idea what a twink. Oh, is he really?
Yeah, that's what. Well, I don't know if Michael is, but that's what a twink is. I'm just.
Oh, how do you know these things and I don't?
You not? I'm not going to be. Everybody knows. Mo and I are very familiar with that terminology. It's anybody under 55 years old knows what that is. He's referencing Michael Morales's very zesty video. You sent me a zesty video of him today.
Yeah, in the dress.
Yeah, no, and he was like dancing in the mirror.
Oh, like, that's right. So yeah.
That's what he's referencing.
That's wild, man. I've never heard it called the twink.
But the answer to the question is he the ultimate one? I don't know. Peyton Talbot's still out there. Let's see what Peyton Talbot does. Peyton Talbot's an actual, like, confirmed.
Wow.
Light and loafers. Let's see what he does to Henry Cejudo, and then we'll know who the ultimate is in the UFC. This is wild. You guys are too much for me. Hey guys, this is your channel. Make sure you guys follow us over on Bad Takes. Hit that like and subscribe button. I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to support us here on the Weighing In channel. And Angelo is going to be my partner on Sunday nights. We'll be doing recaps. We have a good time, man. So those of you guys that don't know Angelo, he used to manage fighters. He's got We Want Picks. So check out We Want Picks over there as well. And also follow and subscribe to us on our Bad Takes. Thank you guys, and we are out. You didn't.